Everyone should have a story to tell. In my estimation, most people, when we think of protector and provider, we think of ed provisions. We are thinking more material things. And I think in a lot of ways that's fair, but in a lot of ways it misses a larger point. Protecting and providing somebody's inner securities. Where men want peace, it's said that women want to feel secure. And I think security has to come from within. It's not the material items. It's not the size of the house. It's not the model of the car. I could be wrong. So if I am, please put it in the comments. But if we're just talking about just at the core of who we are, before mansions were ever a thing, before the motorized vehicle was ever a thing, what was a man protecting and providing? Often it was the sanctity and the honor of his woman, which had nothing to do with material items, how big of a house he could make, or how many horses he could, have, or how big the farm or the plantation was. A lot of those things had nothing to do with what she may have honestly wanted him to protect and provide. So protecting her insecurities, providing something that makes her feel wanted, loved, and secure, as in within his love, not necessarily within his home. I think within the home is part of it, but that might be a lesser issue on a lot of levels if we really get down to it. Just like men, again, men want peace, but we seem to say we want so much more from women, but really it just comes down to just having peace and not having to be in combat or always at odds or anything else. We just want peace. So I would say it's fair to say that maybe the female equivalent is security, is to feel secure. And is that, isn't that what the purpose of the wedding is so she feels secure, she has his name, she has these things. Yes, it in times it came with a dowry, like you would go to somebody's father with 5 pigs and say, I want to marry your daughter, or something like that. But it was all in the security of knowing that she had a place. So when we're talking about protection and provision, if we put it in that context, let's think to a time where anybody can think of this, where you had the happiest moments of your life with somebody in a relationship. And then also think of the times, the worst pain, no matter what that was. Would you want this? Would you trade this for this just to live in a bigger house? Most of the time, these came when you had very little to nothing. I can recall for myself, a lot of the best times that I had were in small apartments with no car, and you had to walk someplace for food, at some weird hour because you both were hungry, and, maybe the lights went out or something, but you made the best of it. Those were times where you were alive and you had the best. A lot of times we see a lot of War of the Roses. Yes, people are enjoying what they have amassed, but are they truly happy? Because I've seen a lot of people live in upper middle class and beyond that weren't as happy as you would think that they were. So would we take that happiness and trade it to live in a mansion, or would we take this and just enjoy it in the studio? What do we want? Do we want happiness in a studio or misery in a mansion? Do we want the hut or the penthouse? But a lot of times you can't swap both. And that's what we're often trying to chase. We're trying to chase having this mixed with that. But what we're asking of people doesn't provide that. When you're asking somebody just to provide you the materials, the mansion, the penthouse, the yacht, it doesn't guarantee the security and the happiness. If we're asking somebody to provide all of the things that we would ask in a mate, but they can't give us peace, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So it's a short thought. But what do we want? Do we want a modest life filled with happiness? Because this brings so many other obstacles and other articles in that don't mix well with just peace and simplicity. It's okay to have nice things. And it's okay to want to make sure that you feel secure, but make sure that the security is here, not here. Make sure that the peace is here, not in peace knowing that my security system will catch all, people coming onto the property, or that I have 5 guns that can handle those problems. Those aren't peaceful resolutions. Those aren't peaceful solutions. That's quite the opposite. Somebody may disagree and say, well, I can sleep more peaceful. Yes, whatever. That's not true peace, not in my estimation, and not in a lot of ways that a lot of other societies have practiced peace over the history of mankind. So just something to think about. When we're asking for protection and provision, when we're asking for things that will bring us peace, make sure that we understand that those things have to come from within. And in large and part, we have to have those things ready to provide to ourselves in order to more readily accept it from others. Guys, if you like this content, as always, please hit the like, the subscribe, the notifications, and I'll keep it simple on my sign out. I hope this finds everybody in good health and spirits. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.